Oh, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Please show a copy of.
Yay.
Hey. Oh, it's crazy. It's been such a long process, so it's amazing that the day is finally here.
Oh my gosh. Well, congratulations. I'm sorry you're going through this in quarantine, but really exciting that the
I
book
know.
is coming out. I literally feel
I know.
I feel like May 5th is the best book release day ever. There's so many great books coming out tomorrow. It's like you're going to have all the best luck.
That's so sweet. I know it is. It's very exciting to be coming out the same day as Emma Straub. I'm like, ah.
So tell me about the long process of getting here. Tell me about writing your first novel, and you've obviously been writing for a long time. Tell me
Yeah.
about it.
So I've been a journalist for over 20 years, and I'd written fiction one time when I graduated from college, and I was lost, and I went home, and I didn't know what to do with my life, and I was just started writing, and it went nowhere. But I'm a lifelong fiction lover, and spend most of my time in bookstores, and I've always dreamed of writing a real summer read. One of my favorite things to do is to just sit on the beach and read. And so I was in Martha's Vineyard one summer and about 5 years ago and came up with this idea. And you come up with, as a writer, you come up with ideas for novels all the time, but very few stick. But this one really, really stuck. And I looked at my husband and I was like, this was like a month after we got home from vacation. And I was like, I really think I want to give this a try and flex this new muscle. And really, that's what it became. It's just such a different way of writing than writing a journalistic article. I was so used to a certain format. I can kind of write a long form magazine story, not really in my sleep, but kind of, it's very formulaic. And this was really finding my voice for the first time as a writer, I think, more so than in journalism. So it was really exciting. And I started taking classes at Sarah Lawrence. They have the writing center there, and found amazing teachers who from the very first, I remember Eileen Palma, who just came out with a great middle grade book, but she was my very first teacher. And I went in with like this mess of a first chapter, and she's like, this is great. And if I didn't have those people early on giving, it was not great. It was a mess. It was a nightmare. But she was like, keep going. And so that first draft, I ended up writing really fast. And I wrote it similar to how I would write a newspaper or magazine article. I wrote it fast and I wrote it sloppy. And that's okay, because I feel like you get that draft on paper and then that's when you revise. And then you can work on character development and plot. And so I'm not someone who sat there and plotted every aspect of the novel. I kind of let it unfold. I started hearing the voices of the characters and I kind of just went with it. So
Wow. What a
yeah,
great story. Oh my gosh. And then what happened? So then you wrote it, and how long did the actual finishing, the editing and all that, how long did that take you?
many years. So I would say it was another 3 years. So there was a lot of moments where I know, like, I have another writing teacher who would say, if you're at the point where you want to stop, keep going, because that means, like, you're almost there. Like, it's just that much work. But it was definitely 3 years of having a writing group read it, having my teachers read it, finding an agent, which was, super hard, but I ended up getting so lucky with Rebecca Shearer of JRA. And so, yeah, and then it was finding the editor and going through the revisions with them. And, they're giving their super sharp laser eyes to it. And then, pushing it further. But the thing is being a journalist does help with fiction, because I don't want to say you don't mind being edited as much, but you're just so used to it. And I love it. I love getting the feedback of my editors, and just getting pushed, because the story is really, it just takes so many drafts to get it right. And this took, 100 drafts to get it right. But I love the characters, and I love being, so the book takes place in the summer of 1962 in Martha's Vineyard. And there's no better place to be in the dead of winter than the summer of 1962 in Martha's Vineyard, right? There's no better place to be right now than
Yeah, exactly.
here in Martha's Vineyard.
That sounds pretty nice.
Right. So I just love the story, and I really fell in love with these characters. The book is about a young woman named Hetty. She's a scholarship student who goes to Wellesley. She's comes from a poor background in Brooklyn, single mom, and she gets this scholarship to go to Wellesley. It's this incredible experience for her. And she gets this summer job with this very wealthy family in Martha's Vineyard. And she gets to the island, and when she gets there, she learns that her scholarship has been revoked. She had a big mishap with a boy, and ends up failing a final and gets the scholarship taken away. Anyway, this happens really quick in the book. But so then she's on the island, and she's suddenly with this illustrious family who's very different from the way she grew up. And you know, she meets a movie star, and then she meets this young surfer down the beach, and another Harvard boy, and she's just in this world, thrust into this world that is so foreign to her, and she's very impressed with it. But as the book goes on, it's sort of, you know, she kind of peels back the curtain and sees what's really going on, and realizes that no one is really what they seem. So yeah.
That's like the perfect beach read right there. There you go. Great background, got a love story, some intrigue, ... question marks. It's perfect.
Yeah, I think what's funny is when you're writing love interest. I found writing love interest really fun and really funny because you're developing these two characters that you sort of have to love in a way. Like, you know, they're going to have flaws, but they're also these really cool people who maybe you would have, you know, you there's parts of them that you would be attracted to, right? So it was just really funny because I'm writing the one young surfer character, Ash, and I'm sort of really digging him, but then, you know, there's Sullivan, and he's this Harvard guy, and he's a Renaissance man, and he plays the sax, and he's a daydreamer, and there were points in the writing of the novel where I was sort of rooting for her to get with him, and then I was sort of rooting for her to get back with it. So it's funny when you're sort of figuring out with the character who they're going to end up with.
So these weren't based on some past decisions, romantic decisions you wrestled with yourself, these two different guys?
Definitely not. Definitely not. No, my husband and I met much younger, and we have been together. So no, there's never been like a love triangle in my past.
Well, your book sounds great. I cannot wait to read it. It's like on the top of my pile, and I'm sorry I didn't get to it before now, but I am just like praying to be able to have a summer for all of us where we can get to the beaches and relax and open up books and like have that much needed escape. I think we all deserve it, right?
I know. You know what though? We have to think of it this way. Even if we don't get there, we can sit in a lawn chair in our backyard and pretend, or on our terrace, or in a park, and just get that beach read. You know, beach reads really, summer reads in general, they just can transport you, and we all need to be transported right now. We all need a break. But yes. I'm hoping, right, that by August, maybe?
Yeah. And I didn't mean to say I'm saving it for the beach, because I'm not saving it for an actual beach. I will be that, and you know, that's what I love about reading is exactly what you're saying. You open it, you're on the beach, you don't have to go anywhere, even if you're sitting on a rainy day at home. So
Exactly.
Anyway, well, thank you so much for coming on, and I hope to meet you in person one day.
I know. Let's have lunch or coffee or something when this all ends.
Oh, that'd be great. I would love that. Okay, thank you so much for coming on. Okay, bye.